one of the things, well, I will admit communication forms a major part of it. But who is the communication coming from, right? Sometimes it's as simple as your mode of communication. If you're going to be having a large factory workforce or blue collar workforce, you could send 100 emails, but that's not going to hit the right nerve. Thirdly, people fail to realize that we're humans and we believe in the WIFM term, what's in it for me, right? So
Mm.
it's also how are you encouraging your employees to get on board with this change, right? What's in it for them? What's the value this change will bring to them? Because no one likes change. Well, while that's with communication, where people fail is where are your resistors to this change coming from? Finding your change agents. It's very interesting that for one of our clients, we realized that their biggest change agent is going to be their receptionist, right? Because when you see a change agent, people bring in leaders and who can drive and communicate. But failing to recognize that there may be people in your organization who have so much exposure and contact that you get them on your board. The person at a desk can influence so many more people than a manager with 10 team members, right? So it's these little things, planning, end to end, and also the frequency and the speed of the communication, right? AI is, to be honest, in the HR world, AI has limited uses, which are great. But I think HR industry is quickly realizing it's not as effective in the finance or other worlds because that's pretty straightforward. When you come to the HR world, AI is great in trying to compute and letting like your data metrics, data analytics. But when you try to put that as a chatbot, we've seen that have the struggles because the answer I give to you about your benefits is going to be determined on so many parameters if you've signed an exception agreement, um, and you don't want to be giving wrong answers. So and we are still experimenting with AI. It has limited applicability when it comes to front ending, but it has great power when it comes to data and analytics and being able to model where HR can drive their direction, right? I mean, we have been dealing with it. It's very, I think, it is in the DNA of what we do, right? We can't say, well, we have people working only from here. Sometimes we also have someone in a country, but not necessarily they can work from a city A throughout their career, right? So they may migrate within the country to help deliver our solutions. So we have, in a way, been doing boundaryless. So we have three models within the organization, right? We have something we call a global delivery center, and that's where your masses are at. Traditional shared services, all the back office, and basically where you can consolidate and standardize. Then we have what we call the proximity delivery centers, and this is where the our employees don't necessarily have to be at a location or in a city, but in that country. And what they do is they bring the domain expertise of, the laws, the regulatory norms, the cultural, proximity, which definitely the masses at GDCs can't really understand. So dealing with other workforce, our clients within that country, we have these, what we call proximity. And then we do have remote delivery centers because, as you may understand, HR, payroll, compliance is a very complex area, a lot of high touch points required. So we do have, almost 60 locations where you are going to have a contract, which is a wet signature. You are going to have to post a check to a certain location. So we've had this model for a while, and we were comfortable with working with, work from anywhere, boundaryless people. So we didn't really differentiate who's a part of a team or not. Everyone works together as a team. So all these three centers come together to give the final output of whatever we do. You need to inspire people, saying if they can have a smile over all day long with the amount of work they do, our job is easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it's a thing about energy, I feel, what energy you bring. Um, Not encouraging negativity, not and it's really caring. It all comes down to caring about the people that you work with. People have told me it's as simple as when you're walking by, I go by and pat someone on the back and I'm like, hey, I saw you're this, congratulations. Or, when someone's even posted something on Instagram that you found witty, going and recognizing that you are observing and you are recognizing things. So that really is, and I don't think there's a formula around it, right? It's just, it builds over time. The attitude of the Gen Z people, the way things have changed, the seriousness, the way they take ownership, attritions. So the thing is that everyone's facing it, right? It's not one organization or one geography or one industry. What's important is for us to come to terms with the fact that the world has changed. You cannot apply your same ways of inspiring people, of recognizing or incentivizing people that worked till 5 years back. So it's very critical for organizations to stop judging the new age workforce and realize it's time for us to change our ways of how we can inspire this new age workforce, right? Because otherwise, we are going to struggle.